gets in. Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.
Well, a very good evening and welcome to this edition of Breeding to Win. It's the last of the current series, but we'll be back with a new series in July. And with me, as always, is Julie Alexander. Jules, welcome back to the show again.
Thank you, Grant. Lovely to have you in Joburg. And I know you've been a busy man.
Been around. We've done some travelling. We went to the Magic Million sale in Australia, then to the Derby, the Investec Derby, courtesy of Mr. Cantor. We're very privileged to be invited there, and what an occasion that is as well. So yeah, it's been a busy time. And then yesterday at that very successful meeting out at Greyville, some great racing, and what a performance from Captain America.
Well, I have to say, well done to Brett Crawford. I mean, he's having a fantastic season at the moment, and I mean, Captain America on form did look held by Marinaresco, but I tell you what, a great performance by Captain L, and I think a top ride by Corne Orfa. And it's so nice to see him training on and him pick up another Grade 1 victory, because we've always known he's been a champion.
And I'll tell you what, and you don't see an owner as enamoured and as enthusiastic as Lance Sherrill as well. And there's a couple of pictures, I know one on Turf Talk, with him hugging the horse. It's probably one of the nicest racehorse pictures, racing photos that I've seen in a long time. So fantastic day there as well. And a couple of other nice winners as well. Just Essential, a nice win.
A very good one. She did look like the right filly in the race, but you know, it's never like that on paper. And I thought yesterday there were one or two horses that looked the right ones and then just kind of didn't put it up. And I think that's the type, or where we are in the season. You know, they're prepping for bigger things to come, and that only comes up in July, and then all of a sudden you've got one or two of these big races now that you've got to be timed for. But that's what racing's all about. It kind of gives everybody a chance to pick up, you know, these type of races. So well done to all the winning connections, and of course to Gold Circle. I thought it was a great event.
Yeah, nice crowd on course, and a couple of horses that were needing to run well to get into the Vodacom Durban July. I think they fluffed their lines. So you think a horse like Black Arthur, I think he needed to win that Cup trial to make sure that his passage into the race was secure. So to Nebula from Brett Crawford's yard as well, very disappointing run from him. And then Elusive Silver, who gets up to win it, all of a sudden he stakes a claim and will probably be shortening in the market as well. So it was a nice eye-catching performance for a couple of runners making their way for that big race.
I think it's a very open-looking July at this stage, Grant. Obviously, we've still got a couple of more weeks to go, and things always change. You know, the log always changes. But right now, I think the performance for me so far has definitely been Edict of Nantes. And, you know, for me last week, that was a fantastic performance.
We'll touch on him a little bit later as well, because he's a farm sale graduate, and that's going to feature on the show, as well as the mare sale, the CTS Select mare sale. But you've got the running order, what we're going to be showing?
Let's take you through what you can look forward to on tonight's show. We start off with our special studio guest, Adrian Todd, chatting about the mare sale. We have a closer look at the farm sale from Claverflay. We update some of Pomodora's stats. We feature Red Ray, and as usual, we feature two of John Freeman's stallions. And tonight we look at Wiley Hall and Master of My Fate. And then we catch up on the line with Cuda MD Vian Smith to chat about the Cuda Golf Day.
Every sip, the taste uniquely Dunkin'. Each cup, uniquely you. Brewed fresh because it's not just any coffee, it's your coffee. Your Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
Risk and reward. odds and evens, facts and form. Come and play. Play and win at Track and Ball. Track and Ball Gaming, a new South African sportsbook offering the latest local and worldwide prices. Branches in Chatsworth, Stanger, Durban North, Shelley Beach, Pietermaritzburg and Richards Bay. To open an account or bet online, visit trackandball.co.za.
Great show and lots to look forward to as well. And you're going to be chatting to Adrian Todd because the whole weekend of the farm sale includes obviously the CTS Select Mare Sale, includes the Kuda Golf Day, and it's become a real festival. It's a social occasion out in the winelands, so nothing better than having great company, good wines, some great thoroughbred racehorses and a round of golf as well.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to it because it's the first time I'm actually going to the Klavervlei farm sale. So I think I've heard so much about it and I said, well, I've got to make my way there. So really looking forward to that, Grant.
Well, let's take you up on your offer. You're going to be chatting to Adrian Todd. Let's hear what he has to say.
My pleasure to welcome back to the Breeding to Win show, Managing Director of Cape Thoroughbred Sale, Adrian Todd. Welcome.
Thank you, Julie. Always a pleasure to be here.
Always lovely having you on the show, Adrian, because you fill us with all this information that we need leading up to these sales. And of course, a fantastic week we're in for down in Cape Town this weekend, obviously with the Kuda Golf Day, with the Highlands, obviously now Richmond Stud, joining together their mares, weanlings and filly sale, and then moving into the Klavervlei sale. I think it's going to be a fantastic week down and lots of social events happening.
It's a nice social time out there, you know, starting off with the Kuda Golf Day, then moving into the CTS Mare Sale and culminating with the Klavervlei Farm Sale. And it's just last year was the first time we put it all together. It was obviously last year the first CTS Select Mare Sale. And it worked very nicely.
I have to say, I was looking through this catalogue for the CTS Mares, Weanlings and Fillies for Stud Select Sale. And I thought to myself, but surely these are type of fillies that breeders don't want to get rid of. I mean, I know we've got in total catalogued 114.
Yes.
In the catalogue, obviously a combination of them. But I mean, there are some powerful mares in this catalogue.
Definitely, and there's even one supplementary. A mare called Scorched, a Jetmaster mare. So 115 horses in total that will be offered there. And you're right, it is a powerful catalogue. We're very pleased with the way it came together. But that was the whole thing behind trying to create, with the imported mares that CTS brought in, create an environment in South Africa like that in other countries around the world where there was an opportunity for people to trade mares. Traditionally in South Africa, you've got a good mare, you keep a good mare, and the only mares being sold are ones people don't want or they're too old.
Okay.
But this has now launched an opportunity where people will put good mares on the sale because there is the chance there to recoup or rebuy good mares as well. So it's trading in the blood, which is good for anybody's gene pool in their broodmare band.
Very, very interesting. So we've actually got to change our old way of thinking and now move our way into trading mares instead of just trading horses.
Yeah.
If that's the route
exactly
you're going.
to have the opportunity there, which we've never had before until last year, where there are quality mares on offer for sale in the country. Breeders can buy them, they can sell other mares of quality and trade, yes.
Okay, well that makes sense now because I was looking through the catalogue and one that stood out for me, I think it's lot 13 if I'm not mistaken, Young Sensation. Now anybody that's into your breeding a little bit and knows your racing will know that Young Sensation is the mare of our South African Horse of the Year, Legal Eagle. And you'd think, well, why would a breeder want to actually sell a mare like that, who you've got it now a champion? I mean, you've kept it all these years. You've now got a champion. But like you've said, she's actually now worth something. So, okay, so now she's going on sale.
Yeah, correct. And there's mares there by international size. There's Galileo mares on offer. There's mares from all over the place, you know, mares that have got Frankels on the ground, mares that have been to some of the best stallions in South Africa and are in foal to some of the best stallions. In Dynasty, Silvano, Captain L, they're all there. Trippy, VAR, you name it, mares in foal to the top stallions in this country.
I was also looking at the weanlings, and there's some quality blood there as well. I know you've only got a handful of weanlings on the sale, but some really nice bred individuals.
Well, yes, we're quite happy with that. What we actually said to the breeders was we would like to add weanlings. We had no idea how many we wanted to add. And we decided from the start, though, that if we got 2 quality weanlings, we would have 2. If we got 4, we would have 4. It was not something that we wanted to compromise on the quality. We wanted to just see if this can be done as well. Have quality, quality, quality all the way through in this catalogue.
So obviously this is something very new, Adrian, in South Africa, but you obviously had a lot of success from the sale last year.
No, it worked very well. And this year I was shocked, happily shocked, with the number of quality entries that we had this year. People obviously looked at that sale last year and said, you know what, this is a good idea. It is something that our breeding industry needs. And it's been so well supported this year.
Well, and I think in time it will grow. But I like, now that it's all fallen into place, I think it's great for our breeding industry. When you think of it, it's just going to expand everybody. And everybody kind of, if they want a broodmare and they know that that broodmare is going to be ideally suited for one of their stallions, I think it's great, because now you don't have to, maneuver your mare to go somewhere. You can actually bring it to the stallion. I mean, it's fantastic.
It makes perfect sense to have an opportunity for people to be able to trade horses like this.
Okay, so we've got about 104 mares on offer, and I think one extra, you said.
Yes, one extra supplementary.
One
so
supplementary.
105.
And then a handful of weanlings, and then there's fillies on offer, obviously now being retired for stud as well.
Yes, there's a few fillies there as well off the track, which is, they just fit perfectly with select mares, select fillies.
This all takes place at Highlands Stud. And you had it there before last year. It kind of worked perfectly well. As you mentioned, you had your Cuda Golf Day. Well, the Cuda Golf Day took place the day before. Then we've got the mares and weanling sale, and then obviously the Klavervlei Farm sale on the Saturday. So it all kind of flows into everything, It kind of knits and works so well.
Yeah, that's correct, Jules. It's as I said, it's a wonderful weekend. Everything just fits together perfectly. And everybody has a great time.
I want to know which mares are standing out for you on the sale.
I always make a point of being totally unbiased.
Oh,
because
Adrian.
I don't want to push anybody.
We know you like your mares, Adrian. We know you like your mares. Okay, but we will be seeing you down at the farm sale. We look forward to that. And we wish you all the best with the CTS Mares and Weanling sale. I know it will be a success. And now that you've explained it to me in more detail, you can feel that it's going to grow from strength to strength. And I think the quality of mares and weanlings that you've got on the sale can only produce quality horses going forward.
Well, we certainly hope so, Julian. We're looking forward to it. And, we're so looking forward to having the sale again with the Golf Day, the farm sale, and anybody that hasn't been in touch with us or that we haven't been in touch with that is interested in any of the weekend, please get in touch with us and we'll make plans.
Thank you very much. Adrian Todd, lovely to have you in the studio. Thank you for your time. We wish you all the best for next weekend.
Thanks, Julie.
The CTS Mare Weanling and Fillies for Stud sale is coming up on Friday, the 16th of June. It's going to be at Highlands, part of Ridgemont, and with me today to have a chat about the catalogue is Justin Veermark. Justin, let's firstly chat about how Green Street Bloodstock's going. You're currently living in Singapore. How's it all going?
Yeah, it's going very well, commuting between the two countries, and we've broken the ice there already with the winner, so going out to Australia in June to purchase some more yearlings to race there. And we had our 22nd winner, I think it was, in South Africa about a week ago. So things are building up nicely.
That's fantastic. And when I interviewed you once before, Green Street is not just about the racing, it's obviously about the breeding too. So this sale is going to interest you. Yeah,
absolutely. We'll be here as we were last year. And very interesting sale. Obviously, last year's results proved that there is a market for it. And, in the current climate, we've seen the sales that the buyer's market is definitely out there, and for the buyers it's in their favour. But at the top end, there's always money for those top end horses, and this being a select sale, you can expect, I think, the very well bred mares to go to those higher end stud farms, and the breeders with a lot of finance behind them, a lot of muscle, to be paying good money for the good mares. And then I think there's an opportunity as well for the smaller type of stud farms with less budget to grab mares that the bigger stud farms are selling and get involved in bloodlines that they might not normally have the opportunity to get involved in. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone at this sale, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
There's 114 lots, and what's interesting this year, we've got some select weanlings as well.
Yeah, some weanlings this year, which is going to be good fun. Obviously, there's people out there will be looking to buy weanlings to race, and then there's also obviously the opportunity of buying the weanlings here and then putting them onto a yearling sale next year and trying to make a bit of a profit on buying them now, which we obviously call pinhooking. So interesting to add the weanlings to it. I see there's some very well-bred ones from some good female lines as well, so I think they'll be well received.
And some top mares were bought out of this sale last year, so it's a great future.
Yeah, last year it went very, very well. I think a lot of people were surprised. Obviously, Peter Graaf from Lammerskral last year went and bought some very nice fillies for a lot of money, and he's building up that farm, Lammerskral. And luckily for racing, because we need farms like that to keep growing to improve the breed in our industry here. And I'm sure this season as well, the bigger breeders will be out looking for those bloodlines. There's a lot of European mares once again that have been brought in, and it must be said it's a big thank you from the rest of us in the industry to farms like Klaverfleur bringing out Galileo mares and Rock of Gibraltar mares and these type of horses. I think there's a Sadler's Wells mare that's on sale as well. So now our breeders are getting to tap into these type of female lines with the stallions that we've got, and it's improving our breed and our racing.
Well, it certainly looks like a top catalogue, and I'm sure it's going to be a fun evening. It's a public holiday, Friday the 16th of June, and CTS always put on great hospitality, so a fun evening for all.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's obviously they've got all those events going on, the golf day, the farm sale, the mare sale, all around that time, and it's a good couple of days. Last year was a blast, and it was the first year of this select mare sale, and it'll get better and better. So this year's renewal of the sale, I'm sure will be very, very successful.
Well, thanks very much for chatting to Breeding to Win, Justin. We wish you all the best with Green Street, and good luck at the sale.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll see everyone at the sale.
Hits the front in the 8th. Her 1,000 guineas success. Finding outclassed them. Architecture gallant in defeat. It's coming with a challenge and moves through into second. And it's Tarzan who has won the Investec Derby.
A length and a half away. He's 2 lengths in front. Chrome turns to gold.
absolute thriller going to the line. It's Durban July.
Well, let's talk about Pomodoro now. He's a resident sire out at Klavervlei. Obviously, he was trained by Sean Terry, raced in the colours of big owner Chris van Niekerk, and he's already sold his first crop of yearlings. Let's catch up with his portfolio, because certainly his yearlings made a mark and they sold fairly impressively at the various yearling sales.
Yes, well, Chris has obviously decided to support Pomodoro in a big way, and you know the numbers, we've seen quite a lot of mares. I can't think of the highlights or the big ones right now, but he's sent the numbers there and he's given the stallion a full go, and let's see what he can do.
Now, you were also keen on Fort Beluga and sending him to stud. Unfortunately, his career was cut quite short.
Yes, he only got one crop to race. Unfortunately, he was ill-fated. And I don't believe our confidence was misplaced. I don't think he had a massive opportunity, and for a first season stallion, he did fairly well. I think Pomodoro, in terms of his race record and his pedigree, are probably a different class. Fort Beluga was a phenomenal athlete. I think Pomodoro's pedigree is a bit stronger. Obviously, that's not my department, but it's a strong pedigree. And his versatility as a racehorse, I mean, that was phenomenal. The fact that he could sprint and stay, it does sort of give you confidence that we're on the right track.
And possibly any type of mare Pomodoro would suit.
Yeah, listen, I'd have to leave those calls to my brother Mark or to the experts out there. The bottom line is the horse got the Derby distance, able to win sprints, won features over 1400. Obviously the pedigree is there. You still need luck, you know, with a stallion you need luck. We all know it's a 5% chance. But at this stage he's ticked all the boxes, and yeah, we look forward to seeing his progeny.
Now, we know that Pomodoro has a very special place in your heart, because not only was he a magnificent racehorse, but you also trained his mother, who was your first Grade 1 winner.
Yeah, she was my first graded winner.
Graded winner.
Unfortunately for me, they downgraded the Fillies Guineas that year. I'd love to take the accolades for a Group 1, but it was a Group 2. Yeah, she was a special filly. I believe I still had my learner's license, and we didn't quite get to the bottom of her. But she did very, very well, had a great turn of foot, was a very good juvenile, competed in the juvenile features, didn't disgrace herself. So, yeah, she was very good. She was probably better than a race record suggests.
And then, of course, with Pomodoro, you've been quoted saying that he's one of the best athletic colts you've ever trained. I mean, that's a huge statement, Sean.
Julie, you know, he was a horse that didn't need a lot of work. He could take work, but he didn't need a lot of work, and he just was an athlete. You could just see the way he moved, the way he used himself. And obviously, we've touched on it already, the versatility. So, yeah, I do believe that's the case, and let's hope he can pass that on.
Now, he stands at Klavervlei Stud. He'll be having his first crop of yearlings sold in January. So exciting times for everybody that's involved with Pomodoro. But what's the buzz on the ground regarding his babies?
I think the talk is good. There have been a lot of positive comments from breeders that have done the business in producing top horses. And obviously when you hear from them that they look the part and they're bullish, it's got to give you confidence.
Now, obviously, Chris has also retained quite a big share in him, so he'll be looking to give him every chance at stud as well.
Yes, as I say, he's thrown the numbers at him, and obviously we're going to be looking at the sales closely. We'd like to get our hands on a few of them and help the stallion along with maybe some results.
No doubt, you'll be looking to train as many as you can.
No, without a doubt, yeah.
Okay, so you're pretty bullish that he's going to make it at stud. I know we touched on Fort Beluga, and even though Fort Beluga unfortunately died before his progeny really got going, they kind of started, and you were confident about Fort Beluga, and that's why I keep referring to him, because his progeny really only got going when he passed away, and that was touch unfortunate, but you're almost as bullish with Pomodoro, if not more, that he's going to make it as a stallion.
Well, I think, as I said, you have to look at his race record. He's done everything asked of him, and obviously pedigree is very, very strong. When you look at that whole Golden Apple family and the fact that she was by Northern Guest, who was a champion brood messiah, I think it speaks volumes. The fact that Pomodoro was by Jet Master and had a lot of his positives and not many of his negatives is also a big plus. And obviously, I'm sure the industry is looking for somebody to fill Jet Master's shoes. They're big shoes to fill. It would be lovely if Pomodoro is that horse.
Up the outside, Just Essential is also running an absolute cracker, and Safe Harbour has taken off between runners. It's Safe Harbour that comes to the front with Just Essential. These two to the wire. Just Essential from Safe Harbour.
Joe's Bond hanging tough. Carry On Alice trying to get to her along the outside. Joe's Bond keeping her at bay. Carry On Alice. Scandal is running on. Joe's Bond keeps rolling though and stays on to win from Carry On Alice.
It's William Longsword with his head in front. He's taken the lead in the Guineas. Gold Standard is wearing him down with each and every stride. The post looming. William Longsword from Gold Standard.
Well, the Klavervlei Farm Sale takes place this coming Saturday, the 17th of June. It's always a great place to be at, and some quality horses on offer. And Grant, I know over the years you've sold some pretty decent horses off the farm that have actually turned out to be champions. And I know we were talking a bit earlier, one of them being Edict of Nan.
Absolutely. He actually, he's done so well for us, we put him on the cover. And it was actually a brilliant story because obviously Frankie got to ride him in the Cape Investec Derby. And Bernard is, well, Frankie's their ambassador for Investec as well. So it actually was just a perfect plan. The irony of it was Anton Marcos was booked to ride him, and he didn't fancy the gallop against Captain America on the JMB Gallops. Not the, sorry, the Sun Met Gallops. And all of a sudden, this fella came through and won really impressively. And he made up for it now in winning the Daily News as well. So he's probably a candidate for being champion 3-year-old.
Very much so. And he hasn't stopped yet because, like I said, I think he's a big runner in this Vodacom Durban July. Always tough for the 3-year-olds. I mean, we've seen it. It's not easy. But I think his prep has just gone so well. So, you know, and Brett's on fire at the moment.
Well, absolutely. Brett's won 3 Group 1s in 10 days. And the interesting thing about Eric as well is that win in the Daily News was his second run after a lengthy layoff. So his third run, possibly being in the July, he's going to be cherry ripe. He's going to be absolutely primed for it. And I think he's going to be a massive runner here. But just a couple of other runners. Speaking of Eric of Nantes, he's got a half-sister by Trippy on the sale. It's lot number 47. So there you go. You've got a chance to be getting into probably a stallion-making female line. And then the next page, well, you've got William Longsword and Real Princess's sister. So certainly some great stuff on offer there as well.
It's actually crazy when you think of it. 113 lots on offer, and already you've got family to Group 1 winners.
No, there's some stunning pedigrees on
it's
here.
crazy.
And if you have a look at the stallion index as well, you've got horses by Count de Bois, Captain L. You've got some very serious stallions represented here. Trippy, obviously, Pomodoro. There's Dynasties on sale.
And let's not forget about Twice Over, because all of a sudden now he's come to the fore, and well, I know Rod McCurdy's always, you know, loved
he's wanted
him.
one.
He's always wanted one. He can't afford one right now. I don't think he's ever going to afford one now. But who knows? He'll be at the farm sale. I'm sure he'll be putting his hand up for a few.
Well, I think there's 12 or 13 Twice Overs on the sale, and certainly the win of that juvenile feature is really elevated Twice Over into the limelight now as well. And his progeny certainly look to be doing well. And what I can say, I haven't heard a trainer not rave about the Twice Overs that they've got in their yards yet. So he's a very exciting stallion for us. But it's not just about the horses there, Julie. It's such a fun weekend for us to be able to entertain all the racing folk that come down and show them the farm. They get to see the stallions. They get wined and dined, and they're there amongst it in the mountains in the beautiful Bonnievale Hills. And it really is a stunning weekend. And as I said earlier on, matched up with the sale from CTS, the Select Mare Sale, And that's grown. This is going to be the second year running of that, and that's grown into a really select, really smart catalogue as well. And just to make it a bit of fun as well, there's some wine tasting in between, and obviously a bit of golf with Cuda involved as well. So it's a great weekend, and we really do invite people to get there. And it's not too late if they still want to make their way down here. All they need to do is email Michaela at klavervlei.co.za, and we'll sort out everything that they need.
I've been looking at the weather because I know over the last couple of years it has been a little bit chilly at Klavervlei. Not that I've been, but I've heard. But I know you guys tend to warm everybody up with the red wine. So
red wine, Glühwein.
Yeah, there's no problem with being warm there. But it's actually lovely weather. The sun is shining at this stage down in Cape Town, and I think it's about 18 or 19 degrees. So I think you guys are in for a good weekend.
I think we've had 1 year where it didn't rain. But the rain hasn't put anybody off. You're all in the Bedouin. It's as cozy as anything. And we've got the big screen for the rugby, so you're not going to miss out on the rugby. And with the Springboks playing as well as they did yesterday, I think we might be a bit more excitement coming into the rugby team as well. But there's a little video clip, Jules, and it highlights exactly what's on offer. It shows you a bit of the fun and camaraderie that exists at the farm sale as well. So why don't we take a look at that?
It's Edict of Nant who goes on a half a length. Elsa Him's going to try and wear him down. Edict of Nant is going great guns from Elsa Him. Horizon's back third. Edict of Nant from Elsa Him. Edict of Nant takes it to another level.
What a feast of entertainment we have ahead, building up to the Klavervlei farm sale. Wine, golf, sales and racing, what a treat. On Thursday the 15th of June we have the Cuda Golf Day at Silverstrand Golf Resort in Robertson. The CTS Mare, Weanling and Fillies for Stud Sale will be held at Highlands, part of Ridgemont, on Friday the 16th of June, followed by the farm sale on Saturday the 17th. At 8:30 viewing of the 113 lots will start. At 5 o'clock rugby will be shown on the big screen, South Africa versus France. And at 7 o'clock the sale will commence. Some very good horses have come out of this sale, including Edict of Nantes, the winner of this year's Grade 1 Investec Cape Derby, ridden by the great Frankie Dettori.
Edict of Nantes is in front, the yellow cap. He's going on strongly. Nothing got a chance for him now. Edict of Nantes drawing away in the closing stages. Goes away to win it comfortably.
Door of Deception and Ashtar. These two, Door of Deception coming back for more. Door of Deception beats Ashtar.
Captain of All's going on to win it, and Captain of All has got it won. Second place will go to Legislate, then Carry On Alice. Captain of All though goes on, and it's Captain of All from Goldstorm the last 100, but Captain of All has won it.
Barrack Street hard up on the outside with 100 to go, and Barrack Street goes strongly to give Sean Terry yet another winner. Is in command with 150 to go, is now pulled 3 lengths clear of Elphick, back in second, and Barrack Street powers away for the Stormbird Stakes win, wins it by 3.5.
Social Order hit the front, Ben Shays on the outside. Social Order still very green, but he's climbing the ladder with a workmanlike performance, burst away by 4. And it's Social Order hit the front over the last 100 metres, and Social Order's going on. Social Order to win it by 3.
Walker and Matthew Lips. Matthew Lips is not giving up, but Walker narrowly in front, and Walker made it.
Coming to the 200, She's a Rock Star, Rose Hill. Four Hands running a big race between them over the last 150. Diamonds Forever gets into it. She's a Rock Star. On the outside, Rose Hill. She's a Rock Star's going on strongly. She's a Rock Star won it. It's Edict of Nant who goes on a half a length. Elsa Him's going to try and wear him down. Edict of Nant is going great guns from Elsa Him. Horizon's back third. Edict of Nant from Elsa Him. Edict of Nant takes it to another level.
New Turf Carriers has been in long-distance transport since 1995 and pride themselves in excellent service. The bottom line is, New Turf Carriers take your horse from door to door with pride, passion and punctuality.
Top sprinter Red Ray retired to stud at the beginning of the year and stands at Claverflay Stud. He ran 18 times for 5 wins and 8 places, including the Grade 1 Mercury Sprint and the Grade 3 Cape Classic. Let's take a look at Red Ray.
Claverflay are proud to announce that the brilliant Red Ray will retire and stand at the farm in 2017. An 800,000 Rand purchase from the 2012 CTS Ready to Run sale, Red Ray is a Grade 1 winning son of a triple champion sire and one of 5 stakes winners produced by the outstanding broodmare Nakarat. Red Ray, like so many outstanding sires, was a brilliant 2-year-old who reeled off 3 wins from his first 3 starts at 2 by an aggregate of 9.5 lengths. First time out at 3, Red Ray put up one of the performances of the season. He drew clear to record a 2.5 length win at the expense of Legislate, who would go on to record a trio of Grade 1 wins that season, including the Grade 1 Investec Cape Derby and Grade 1 Vodacom Durban July. He recorded an emphatic win in the Grade 1 Mercury Sprint, a race won previously by the great sire Jetmaster, over a star-studded field of sprinters. Among the runners beaten by Red Ray in the Mercury Sprint were Equus champion sprinter Talk to the Stars, Grade 1 winners Fly By Night, Gulf Storm and Real Princess, and star sprinters Trip Tease and Trip to Heaven, some of the truly elite of South African sprinters. A nominee for Equus Champion Sprinter in 2016, Red Ray ended his racing career having banked nearly 2 million Rand in prize money and won or been placed in no fewer than 7 Grade 1 races, including the Cape Guineas, Cape Flying Championship twice, and the Golden Horse Sprint twice. From the same Gone West male line as current US sire sensation Quality Road and the very promising French sire Wouton Basset, Red Ray is one of 20 Grade 1 winners sired by triple champion sire Western Winter. Red Ray is a full brother to Grade 1 Taquini Stakes winner Nania and Grade 2 Merchants winner and Grade 1 Cape Flying Championship runner-up Brutal Force, with the latter having fetched a then record price of 4.5 million Rand at the 2013 CTS Ready to Run sale. His dam Nakarat, responsible for this season's very smart 3-year-old Bishop's Bounty, is also dam of the talented stakes winner Adobe Pink and Valor Red. He is being syndicated into 60 shares at a share price of 100,000 Rand. His 2017 service fee is set at 12,000 Rand, split into a 2,000 Rand nomination and 10,000 Rand live foal fee. We would be delighted if you were to take up 1 or more shares and join us in the journey of this exciting stallion's career going forward.
part of the Klavervlei weekend with the sale as well as the CTS Select sale is the Cuda Golf Day. We've got on the line now Wiaan Smith, the MD of Cuda. And Wiaan, firstly, thanks very much for joining us on the show.
Morning, Grant. Great to be on the show, thanks.
Great that you guys get behind that weekend as well. You've had the first golf day, I think was last year. It proved to be a really popular event.
Yes, we got involved last year when the farm sale was turned into a sales weekend with Cape Thoroughbred Sales having their first mare sale and combined with a Klavervlei farm sale, and it really was a great event. A lot of fun was had by all, and looking forward to getting back to Robertson next weekend.
Well, it's nothing worse than sitting down and you've got horses all around you, you've got wine farms all around you, and you've got a world-class golf course there as well. So it all packs into what makes a really social weekend, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's become one of the highlights of the sales calendar and the racing calendar. And I think even the success of the farm sale has just been amazing over the last number of years with horses like Edict of Nantes, Captain of All, and two coming from that sale. And the mare sale was a massive success last year as well, with some really record prices in terms of mares on South African sales market being achieved. So for us to slot right into the middle of those is a real privilege and something that we're very proud of.
Well, you insure the majority of them as well, obviously, through the various sales. You're very much in part and parcel of the sales strategy. But talk about the golf day this year. I think you've got about 24 balls, if memory serves me correctly.
Yes, we've got 80 players playing this year, another full field. And it was a really fun golf day last year. But racing guys are competitive on the best of days. But the focus really does, we try to make the focus more on having fun and spending time together and having a good laugh as we always do. The competitive spirit certainly comes through, and I'm sure the guys there'll be one or two bets going on between the four balls, I'm sure.
Now, your golf day is also a charity event. Wiaan, tell us about the charity that's going to benefit.
We support a local charity close to our office here called Home of Hope. We've actually got a wonderful little video clip on our website, www.cuda.co.za, if anyone's interested in having a look. But Home of Hope is a charity that looks after fetal alcohol syndrome orphans. So, incredible work that the people do there. It's heartwarming going there every single time and just seeing how people pretty much, sacrifice their lives to look after these kids. And for us to be able to make a small difference and, is really heartwarming and something that we're very proud of. We raised a lot of money last year for them, and it made a big difference to them. They purchased a new home last year, which needed to be renovated, and the money raised at the golf day and at the farm sale charity auction really went a very, very long way.
Well, as with most charity golf days, there's normally an auction at the end during the prize giving, and you've got a couple of nice things again, hoping to raise some money for Home of Hope.
Yes, certainly. We'll be having the auction again, and we've had such generous donations from many people of items that we'll be auctioning afterwards, and again, hoping to raise a lot of money for that very worthy charity.
Then last question in terms of the golf day. If people are still wanting to maybe get a 4-ball, is there still space? Can you handle a few more 4-balls?
I think the golf day is very close to full, but we'll always make a plan and fit in a few more people. So if anybody's interested, please contact our office, 021-554-5832, and speak to Gwendolyn McGregor, that's running the golf day for us.
Brilliant stuff. And as always, well done for all the contributions you guys made as Cuda. And we look forward to seeing you in the Robertson area for the sale coming up next weekend.
Thanks, Grant. Looking forward to it.
Brilliant stuff. That was Wiaan Smith, the MD of Cuda Insurance. Not only insurance, but they do a whole host of other things they do. Even transit, they're starting to branch out with home insurance as well. And you certainly couldn't want for a better bunch of people to be doing your insurance with. So top marks to them, and we certainly wish them well with the golf day.
Wiley Hall and Master of My Fate are two up-and-coming stallions. They're both managed by John Freeman. Let's take a look at their profiles.
Wiley Hall is the only Grade 1 winning son of Australia's undisputed King of Sires, Redoute's Choice, at stud in South Africa. he achieved a merit rating of 119, a versatile performer, winning from 1400 meters to 2450 meters. First past the post in 3 Grade 1 races. He is a half-brother to champion sprinter Absolute Champion, who beat Silent Witness, breaking his own track record in the highest-rated sprint performance in the world in 2006. He is also a 3-parts brother to Grade 1 Oaks winner Anamato. Wiley Hall's striking defeat of a high-class field in the Grade 1 South African Derby is especially significant because his race record combines speed and classic class.
Wiley Hall, that comes together with Gothic as they pass the 200. Warhorse, here comes Talina, who's finishing strongly on the stand side. Wiley Hall is there. Gothic, Talina's on the outside, but it's Wiley Hall now coming to the lead into the closing stages from Gothic, and Wiley Hall has won the SA Derby.
Wiley Hall is finishing the best of all, and Wiley Hall has got to the front to win it from in second place, Whiteline Fever.
First past the post in the 2014 Vodacom Durban July, Wiley Hall was denied victory in the boardroom.
Wiley Hall legislates now alongside. Wiley Hall legislate. Futurus flying on the inside. Here it comes. Wiley Hall perhaps ahead. Wiley Hall.
He warmed up for the Grade 1 Champions Challenge with a fluent win in the Grade 2 Colorado King Stakes.
Wiley Hall goes for home and he looks good for victory. Wiley Hall wins the Colorado King Stakes.
And then he won the Grade 1 President's Champions Challenge in fine style.
But it's Wiley Hall on the stand side, half the deficit, no worries. Majmu tries hard in the closing stages. Wiley Hall, Majmu tries hard, but she's not going to get there, and Wiley Hall beats Majmu.
Wiley Hall's sire, Redute's Choice, set a new Australian yearling sale record at $5 million. Redute's Choice has a phenomenal 50 sons at stud who have produced winners. 8 of them have Grade 1 winners, an incredible achievement for any sire in his own lifetime.
Peacock got up on the fence and hit the lead from Akatur. Violate coming on the outside. Peacock, Violate, wide out. Peacock and Violate. Peacock.
Wiley Hall is owned by a syndicate and managed by Freeman Stallions.
But Master of My Fate, he's a born leader, and he's in front by a length and a half. Time of Song's absolutely flying for second. But Master of My Fate, it's race over, and he travelled well down the lane. Master of My Fate, easy.
Awesome Power from the back of the field. Master of My Fate. Awesome Power, the only danger, but Master of My Fate, too good. Master of My Fate stays on from Awesome Power and puts Arenas. And it's Master of My Fate who's come to take the lead. Racing in behind that, one cool dude trying to get after them. Paterfamilias is kicking on behind that, but Master of My Fate is out in front, and he's clear as they come to the final 100. Master of My Fate from Hill 54 and Paterfamilias, and Master of My Fate, too good.
Master of My Fate goes on. Spandau Ballet is running on, but he's got the looks, he's got the pedigree, and he's banking the money out here. Master of My Fate, easy stuff by just over 3.
This superb-looking, brilliantly conformed, highly talented son of the legendary Jetmaster is out of the champion racemare Promise from My Heart, herself the daughter of champion broodmare sire Eliodor. Not only does Master of My Fate have the distinction of being the product of a champion sire and a champion dam, the first 3 generations of Master of My Fate's female line boast 4 champions. he was a sale-topping colt as a yearling at 3 million rand and became tagged as a superior racer by trainer Dennis Dreyer right from the start. Master of My Fate reeled off 6 consecutive wins in 8 months, starting odds-on favourite for the first 4, with the rest of his competitors generally priced at 10-1 or better, and winning by an average margin of 2 or more lengths. This was also true of the field of 14 of the country's best racers that he trounced in the Grade 2 Premier Trophy at Kenilworth in December 2013. That field included 6 Grade 1 horses.
Master of My Fate has come to take the lead, racing in behind that one cool dude trying to get after them. Paterfamilias is kicking on behind that, but Master of My Fate is out in front and he's clear as they come to the final 100. Master of My Fate from Hill 54 and Paterfamilias, and Master of My Fate Too Good.
He's just superb. I'm speechless. For once, I'm actually speechless.
Some of the accolades that the racing press heaped on him included shades of his brilliant sire. Another noted that he inspired much reminiscing and reflection back to the mighty Jetmaster as his outstanding son, Master of My Fate, blew his opposition away in the Premier's Trophy. In his prep for the J&B Met, the Big Bay took on another bunch of the season's best gallopers in January 2014, including some that he'd thrashed before, this time in the glorious Goodwood Grade 2 Peninsula Handicap. And he did it all over again.
Master of My Fate, meantime, has come forward to pick it up in the centre of the course, and that's the one they've all got to beat. Master of My Fate is powering home in the centre. Down towards the inside, Punta Arenas is trying to make a race of it. Awesome Power from the back of the field. Master of My Fate, Awesome Power the only danger, but Master of My Fate Too Good. Master of My Fate stays on from Awesome Power at Punta Arenas.
He was the highest-rated 4-year-old in training before going into the J&B Met later the same month. His 6 wins proved the versatility characteristic of Jetmaster's best progeny. He won from 1,200 to 1,800 meters, and Dreyer firmly held the view that he was good enough to beat the best over the J&B Met 2,000 meters. But he was cut into 3 times by the same horse in the Met and still ran a game-flying 5th. His career is managed by Freeman Stallions.
Down here on the Cape, the weather, the grass, the horses. Here's where it is, Main Chance Farm, Champion Breeders.
Time Thief stands at Naddison Park, owned by Hassan Adams and situated in one of the most beautiful places on the planet. Time Thief is a son of Redoubt's Choice. He's out of the mare Procrastinate, which makes him a half-brother to Laissez-Faire, undoubtedly the best sprinting filly that this country has seen for many, many a year.
Well, that's a wrap for this edition of Breeding to Win. Grant, thank you very much for being part of the show, and I think it's a great show that we've had tonight.
Yeah, great show, and nice guests as well contributing, and yeah, looking forward to what's hopefully going to be a real fun weekend next week, and I'm delighted that you're coming down for the first time.
I am. I'm very excited, I have to be honest. I know I've got to make my way back for Father's Day, so
yes.
while I got the opportunity, because I'm not going to speak to all the fathers, including you, Grant, happy Father's Day for next Sunday.
Fantastic stuff. And it is the last show of our current series, and we're back with you soon. And obviously just keep an eye out on both social media as well as Teletrack, and we'll be bringing the new series to you as soon as we possibly can as well. Jules, thanks for everything during the past shows as well.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me part of the Breeding 2 team.
Part of the furniture now. And thanks to everybody else concerned, all the guys in the back room as well, obviously, our team that go out, the cameramen from all the inserts that we put together, our editors, and certainly been a great job from all of them, and some hard work during some testing times with all the sales around as well, and thanks to all of them for their contributions as well.
Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again. Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the Main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.